Hi guys, it's My Doc and Dukov this afternoon at 1 o'clock on KHTS. How you doing, Doc?
Hello, everybody. How are you guys out there?
Oh, it's a nice day.
Really nice.
How are your allergies?
We should be outside. Sniffing again, same as last week.
Everybody's like...
Same as last week.
Yeah, mine have gotten really bad, and I live in Pasadena, so by the foothills. It's just, you feel like you're sick all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this has nothing to do with what our talk about
Not
is
exactly.
about today,
No.
but I do have something to ask you as a doc.
Okay.
And those listening, I'm sure that somebody else out there has this problem. I came into you last week asking if there was like a prescription strength allergy medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, oh, Claritin, Zyrtec if you have animals. Like there's no real cure for that, huh? I mean...
There's one medicine called Singulair, which is a prescription medicine, but it doesn't work that much better than the over-the-counter ones.
So you might as well just go over the counter. But I don't find that they really work for me.
Do
you find that, Justin? You're nodding your head.
I didn't. It's surprising to me. My allergies were really bad when I was younger, from like a child to teenager, and then over the last few years they kind of went away, and I've been a lot better.
Lucky you.
It just happened this allergy season, obviously with the rain. I don't know, it's been the craziest.
Yes, I think
season
it's
in 10 years for me.
Totally, I think it's a stronger season.
So nothing's helped this season so far.
You just feel constantly sick, right?
Good thing you work inside.
And I'm still sneezing. I'm sneezing in here. Sneezing in the last show in the senior hour. I hope I don't sneeze in front of you guys right now because
it's okay. You'll be joining the chorus of me with my runny eyes and runny nose.
I mean, it's just. I think it's just this season is just way stronger than in previous ones. The pollen and everything.
I think you have a point. We had a lot of rain, so I think it brought up a lot of extra stuff from the earth. I mean, I can't even keep my makeup on at the moment. My eyes are running and watering, and anyway. So bottom line, Doc, no real.
Nothing good.
Cure out there except take a bunch of Claritin.
Abstinence.
He wants to bring in straight to the topic today. Abstinence from pollination. Sort of like fornication.
Sort of.
Well, actually, pollination is a tree's way of ejaculating. Did you know that?
Well, I guess technically
it is ejaculation of the tree's stuff.
Okay.
Pollination is ejaculation.
I won't walk on any more
Are you going to
trees.
write that as part of like that? Oh my God. Okay, so that's going on the show today, guys. That's one of my quotable little parts here. Ejaculation of the tree is pollination. I guess that does kind of lead us into the topic today, which is
celibacy.
What do you mean by that, doctor?
Abstaining from sexual relationships.
Why would we do that?
It's all personal. Some people think it makes them stronger. Some people think they have just terrible lives, and that's the only way to make their life easier is not to have any relationships.
It is messy. Relationships are messy. It gets in the way of a lot of clarity of mind and peace of mind.
Right. So celibacy is, for some people, is powerful, like the Buddhist, the Catholics. The Catholic priests, Catholic nuns. Most of them are celibate.
Are we sure about that?
I was going to say kind of.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
We're not going to talk about it.
I won't go there.
We're not going to go there.
I don't want the Pope to get mad at me.
Edited? No, don't edit it. Everybody listening will be like, I know what that joke was. I know what that joke was that was not said. Yeah, they're kind of celibate. Anyway, go ahead.
So mostly they're celibate. So I guess we can use that as an example. I don't know who else is celibate, I guess.
People who are highly religious that have decided to wait until marriage to lose their virginity.
Yeah.
And, even then there are some marriages where they practice celibacy to cleanse out their emotional and spiritual states of being, and they do that together as a couple. I suppose that would have to be consensual because it would really suck to be in a marriage with somebody who all of a sudden comes to you and says, part of my spiritual path means that right now for the next 6 months, I am going celibate. See ya.
Wow.
Here's some porn. Have fun.
Yeah. Well, I think that some people, are lonely. So if they are not in a relationship and they just say I'm celibate that way, if it comes up, they don't have to move forward and make the relationship work.
Okay, so you're talking like psychologically.
Yeah, painful relationships, I think sometimes make people say, I'm gonna become celibate. I'm gonna practice celibacy.
which I think makes them feel stronger about not having that date on a Saturday night. You know, they feel like rather than feeling like a loser, they've made the choice
That's right.
to not go out. So they're taking control of their lives, and then they feel more proactive.
Right. You know, and I was reading
control.
before the show about different age groups, and like the millennials now, they said a lot of them are celibate because they're on the screen so much that they're forced into it.
They're forced into celibacy because they're on the screen.
They're on their telephone or their computer. They're busy doing those kinds of
they're
things.
so busy They're so busy sexting. They're not having sex.
You walk into Starbucks and you
That's
see
a quote for you.
so many people are on the phones, you know, instead of just like talking to the person sitting next to you.
Well, you know about sexting though, right? Or has
I
that
know
not
about-
hit
yeah,
your...
No, I know about that, yeah.
Do people your age sex?
I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know. I guess I'd do another show.
I think we should do another show on sexting.
Okay.
It does it's a huge part of our culture now. Huge.
I think a lot of the young people that
That's
work
how
here,
they date
we
these
could, We
days.
could have them on as a guest, the young people that work here.
Sexting can be really hot though. I mean,
I think it could be, yeah.
and I do think you are onto something as a point, because perhaps a lot of our time is spent engaging on the screen, and we get a lot of our quote unquote rocks off that way, which I guess is safe.
Right.
You know, it's safe sex. Practicing safe sex can be sexting because you're not doing anything physical.
right.
And I think that it may help people weed each other out.
And some of the millennials, they like to do the sex chats. You know, they'll talk to somebody on the phone, on the computer, but not actually be there.
Yeah, sexting's easier to do though. It's
I always thought sexting was more like if you actually want to meet somebody, you'll send them a picture.
That's like
Talk to-
Tinder.
Is that
I
right?
hear about Tinder swipe left. What is it? Are you on Tinder?
Not anymore.
Okay, was it swipe left or swipe right? What's the thing
I
about
think right.
swiping
I think
on Tinder?
right was right.
Right was right.
Left
so
is-
right was good. Left is bad.
I see. So
Yeah.
swipe right, and then you find like the person.
It's like a page. You just
that
go
you
through the
have
pages.
interest
Right,
in.
left.
Right. So I hear from a lot of people my age, like in my generation, because Tinder really got hot. What about like three years ago, probably something like that. So in their late 20s were my friends that were on Tinder.
Right.
But it's hot today, and you've got a lot of like these early 20-somethings on it, using it for the same thing it started for, which is a quick date. I don't think you're gonna Match.com, Harmony.com, eHarmony. Those are places you go if you're serious about wanting to commit to somebody. You want to get married. Farmers Only,
Right.
JDate. These are maybe not even JDate. I've heard terrible things about JDate with people sending terrible pictures right away, and you really want to get to know
terrible
somebody.
Pictures mean like sexual pictures?
Yes,
Do Jews do
They're-
that during Passover?
humans do that. Humans with a
But J-date is for Jewish people, right?
yeah.
Jews, okay.
Well, and I mean mainly, I guess. But in today's like online dating and stuff like that, it is such a big cultural thing now that I think you were onto a point, which is that I know my friends and the people that I've known that I've spoken to about Tinder and JDate and Plenty of Fish and all these dating sites. It weeds out you sift the shaft from the wheat a lot sooner. So rather than continuing to meet and go on bad dates and have bad sex and have yourself have the potential of contracting an STD,
Yeah.
and then going through the whole mess of, I really think I like this person, but now I'm realizing he's not who he says he was, which used to happen a lot when we used to meet people in person and start going on the, and then the quintessential third date is when you would have sex, But I think what I'm trying to say is that now in today's culture with all this online dating, kind of sifts the shaft from the wheat for the majority.
Well, I think
and
it
you
does.
don't meet up with the people that you don't have like a compatibility with, or you meet up only for that thing that you've decided you wanted to meet up for, which is the sex. At that point, both of you are consenting.
Well, I think that when there's actual live dating, you have a chance to try out the partner to see what they're like, how they act out, how they act when you're out together, things like that, which you can't find on the computer dating.
For sure. There's nothing like a heartbeat and looking into somebody's eyes and
Yeah,
seeing their body language.
It's the touch.
Well, that's the pheromones. And we had a whole talk about the body chemistry that happens between two people. You could really like somebody, like everything about them. They tick every box of yours, but the chemistry's not there. And then, unfortunately, there are those that you have massive amounts of chemistry with, and they treat you like crap. Or they are emotionally unavailable.
They don't love the one that loves them.
And that's the girl's thing with the bad boy, or the guys that are going after the, woman that quote unquote is out of their league or whatever. It's that unrequited love that psychologically we continually as human beings strive to achieve as a challenge in our lives. We want that challenge, and it screws us up. And so then maybe we have series of celibacy periods in our lives because of that.
Can we go back real quick to that though? I have a question about that, because I don't understand what it is, because it is something with this. It's something with this chemistry, but I don't know, for whatever reason, if you're not sure if you want to be with them or whatever the case is, what is it then? Doesn't make any sense how we have this quote unquote chemistry with someone, but it doesn't always work out. I don't know why. Like, what is it about the person that there's this mutual attraction and everything is fine, but it's not all the way there? I don't understand why that is.
Well, because sexual chemistry, sexual connection is its own animal. Sexual energy is its own animal. So if you think about it, we're not that far out of the jungle, and basically animals that seek each other out in the jungle and know when they found their mate, they're like sniffing each other's butts and going, oh, you're the right chemical combination for me to procreate, to mate. Well, we as animals do the same thing, but because we're so conscious and we live in such a civilized, upright society where it's happening on such a baser level inside of us, we're still primal. We're still animals. So you walk into that bar, you're going to see 50 girls, and there's one of them that's going to stand out, and you can't put your finger on why. And likewise, you will stand out for her. Whether or not you actually get it on, your pheromones already are. Your pheromones are already communicating with that other person's pheromones going, you're a potential mate. I like the smell of you. I like the taste of you. It's all chemical. Then you get to talking, if they're single, if you're single, if they're interested, if you're interested. And then you realize they're dumb as a brick, or you realize that they are only after money.
You've seen
Their
some
priorities are in different places.
You've seen some movies where people meet out when the next morning they wake up to bed together and they go on big eyes. Then one of them, ultimately sneaks out of the bedroom.
Right, Coyote Ugly is.
Yeah, or a lot of times it's the girl that sneaks out of the room.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, don't mistake alcohol for pheromone chemistry.
That's right. Yeah.
Barbiturates really detract from the whole process, I think, and they make us feel attracted to that lamppost. So no, they're not the same thing.
Right.
And then you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my God, what did I do?
Do you think celibacy is a form of suffering? Like some churches like it, like the Catholic Church likes celibacy.
I think they like suffering in general in the Catholic Church.
Oh,
that's basically one of their.
Don't be biased. I'm just.
No, suffering as a part of
Buddhists
enlightenment. No, I'm serious.
Okay.
So Catholics, part of their whole thing is Christ on the cross and remembering it daily. And he suffered for our sins. So we must suffer to elevate to this place of enlightenment. We're born guilty, right? And then we have to kind of right the wrong throughout our entire lives. And there's no righting the wrong. We're always damned. And then one day when you die, if you've lived a good life of being a sinner and not sinning, then you can go to heaven.
Well, the priest,
So suffering is part of their enlightenment.
Masturbation is not allowed in the Catholic Church. So if you're a priest and you're celibate and there's no masturbation, that would be suffering, I think.
Well, I think you would have to ask a Catholic priest what he does about his urges. And usually what you will find from any devout religious person of any sector, of any religion, they'll say that they go to God. They pray about it. They release to their divine.
I don't think you use the word release when we're talking about masturbation.
Right.
Okay?
Oh, but we will, because my segment here about celibacy is going to talk about how to transmute that sexual energy.
I think that would be a good
in your body
YouTube spot thing, wouldn't it?
I have. Did you watch my video?
No, I did not.
I have a sexual transmutation video on YouTube right now that's gotten like almost 20,000 hits.
Wow.
Whereas my other videos, because I just started doing them a few months ago, I've only gotten maybe a few hundred here, a few hundred there. about relationships and stuff, but sexual transmutation, that exact wording too. I was surprised. I thought I would deter a lot of people from being able to find the video because of the word transmutation. You'd be surprised how many people type in, how do you transmute sexual energy? How do you transfer sexual energy? How do you process sexual energy? And now I'm one of like the 3 top videos that comes up, which is crazy.
You're the West Coast expert in transmutation.
I'm gonna be, I guess.
Yeah, before you know it.
We had Chandresh in here. He's all about Tantra. That's basically what transmutation of sexual energy is. And Tantra is a gateway to your spirituality. It's a spiritual practice using your sexual energy and other energy points in your body to elevate. All we're doing, guys, is shifting our energy around in our bodies. We're energetic entities. If we can establish this, if we can come into this mindset from the East that we are energy. This is physics now. This isn't even about religion anymore. This isn't even about what you believe religiously, spiritually. Scientifically, physics, they have established that we're all energy and energy is one. It's coming from one source, right? So basically, if we're all energy living inside of a physical body in this physical plane of existence, tap into the inside of you, which is all energetic, and recognize that different parts of your energetic being hold different feelings, hold different emotions, hold different essences of energy, and you can shift it around to work for you. So if you have an abundance of sexual energy harbored, which we talked about last week in your cave, if you can become aware of where your sexual energy is harbored, which is below the belt, in your groin, right? Where you get the erection or where you get the impulses and the pulsation going on down there, go to it with your mind's eye inside of you, and you can pull up that energy that's stuck in there and frustrated in there and bubbling in there from your cave. You can pull it up in the river of your breath, breathe into it, and pull it up into different parts of your body. You can release it in your heart, where you can watch your heart expand. This is all through the river of the breath. So I'm going to teach this technique. We'll have a show on the river of the breath, how to pull up different parts of where your energy is stuck, to release and to give you unbelievable amounts of energy. Do you realize sexual energy is creative?
Did not.
It's a creative force. So a lot of it from people who are sexually frustrated, either through celibacy or through not getting enough of it for themselves. Maybe they're just at a really potent place in their lives of their own sexual journey. Guys in their early 20s, they're walking around like looking for, they're on fire. And women hit their sexual peak around 40. We have different phases of our lives that we reach these levels in us of high, potent sexual energy. We need to get it out somewhere. Well, unfortunately, because we don't have a practice for it, we don't know how to utilize it, we either have a lot of bad sex, we put ourselves into a lot of trouble with getting STDs or potential STDs. We get ourselves with bad partnerships because we just have to have a lot of that, energy expelled.
But if you're celibate, you don't get any of that.
Well, no, well, you do, but you do in a different way. So
you don't get any diseases.
Right? You don't get the diseases, but what you get is total stagnation of that sexual energy that could be used in a different way to create different places in your life that you want to grow and cultivate. For instance, do you know that harboring your sexual energy down there, being celibate or like restricting yourself in that way, in any way with it, it's like trying to keep the ocean behind a dam. Think about that for a second. It's like trying to keep the ocean behind a dam.
Yeah. Well, we're going to finish up
Let's marinate on that
topic in just a second, but this is Alicia Dukov and Gregory Jenkins here at KHTS. We'll be right back.